Come on.
Caitlyn Clark didn't just show up this preseason, she took over the entire sport. One game, one arena, and suddenly 1.3 million people were watching a preseason matchup like it was the Super Bowl.
Caitlyn Clark's preseason debut drew 1.3 million viewers.
Meanwhile, Angel Reese was playing on her home floor and couldn't even fill half the seats. The comparison, it's not just lopsided, it's downright brutal.
People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games, we got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
For months, we were told they were equals. Two queens. Same impact, same influence. But now that the numbers are rolling in, one is becoming a generational icon, the other can't even sell out her own market. We're not talking about opinions anymore. This is about facts, and the facts are exposing the gap in the loudest way possible.
Now, you may be like, but Angel Reese. Well, but Angel Reese, what? 9 points last night, 8 rebounds, 4 for 9 from the field, continuing to not shoot 50% as a big from the field.
The media keeps trying to make this a rivalry, but fans already made their choice. And when you see just how massive this divide really is, you'll understand why Caitlyn Clark isn't just ahead. She's in a league of her own. But while Clark was drawing record crowds without even stepping on the court, Angel Reese was playing and still couldn't fill half the arena.
And guys, I'm here to tell you, it did not take long for the world to find out the truth. And the truth of the matter is, Caitlyn Clark is the biggest star in all of basketball.
Angel Reese suited up for another WNBA preseason game. This time it was against the Minnesota Lynx, one of the league's best teams, the kind of matchup that should have packed the arena. But when tip-off came, over half the seats were empty. Only 4,000 fans showed up at Wintrust Arena in Chicago, a venue that holds over 10,000. And we're not talking about expensive courtside seats keeping people away. Some tickets were selling for $3. That's less than a gas station sandwich. And even with all the hype, the followers, the brand deals, people still didn't go. That's not criticism, that's reality.
You've got a basketball player, you got a celebrity that, or somebody that thinks she's a celebrity, that happens to be a basketball player. All right, but she's not celebrity enough to actually pack in the stands.
This was a home game in one of the biggest sports cities in America for a player with over 5 million followers across social media, and yet the turnout looked more like a high school scrimmage than a professional debut. The numbers aren't just disappointing, they're devastating.
And guys, there is some ugly numbers here. By the way, this arena holds roughly 10,000 fans, okay? It was at the Wintrust. You see that right there. 4,688 fans showed up to a game that Angel Reese is playing in.
And here's the part that really stings. The media keeps calling Angel Reese a superstar, a cultural icon, someone just as big as Caitlyn Clark. But if that's true, where are the fans? Because so far, they're not in the building. But it gets even harder to defend because Clark didn't even play in one of her games and still drew nearly triple the crowd. Caitlyn Clark didn't need to lace up to make an impact. She just needed her name on the schedule. When the Indiana Fever played a preseason game without her, 12,000 fans still showed up.
It had been widely known Caitlyn Clark was not going to play in that Fever game on Friday, which absolutely killed the walk-up traffic that was going to buy tickets at the window to walk into that game. And still 12,500 fans showed up
Yup, that's right. The star rookie wasn't even in the lineup and the arena was still rocking. That's not hype, that's a movement. Let's compare. Angel Reese played in front of fewer than 4,700 fans while actually on the floor. Meanwhile, Clark was on the bench, not even suited up, and still drew a crowd nearly 3 times larger. And it's not like Fever fans got a last-minute surprise. Everyone knew in advance that Clark wouldn't play, and still, they showed up anyway. That's the kind of energy Clark brings. Even her absence is electric. Meanwhile, the excuses for empty arenas when Reese plays are piling up. Wrong city, wrong day, bad weather. It's only preseason, but Clark is playing in the same league, same timing, same conditions, and the only difference is the fans and who they're coming to see.
You got to be kidding me. They couldn't, if the Fever would have moved those fans to this arena, 2,500 people would have been standing outside not being able to get in. This situation is not the same, and it's going to keep getting called out.
But watch what happens when Caitlyn Clark finally does step onto the court, because the next section isn't just about crowd size, it's about breaking records and rewriting history. If Clark's presence on the bench filled an arena, you already know what happened when she actually suited up. When the Indiana Fever took on Brazil in Iowa, it didn't feel like a preseason game. It felt like a championship parade. Over 15,000 fans packed Carver Hawkeye Arena, most paying an average of $670 per ticket. That's not playoff pricing. That's not even regular season pricing. That's Caitlyn Clark pricing.
This game beat NHL playoff ratings. Think about that a minute. National Hockey League playoff ratings, a WNBA game, a preseason WNBA game, not only beat those ratings, destroyed them.
And the numbers didn't stop at the arena doors. 1.3 million people tuned in to watch the game on ESPN2. That's more than any NHL playoff game airing that same night. It's more than any NBA preseason game since 2018, except 2, and it even outdrew Game 1 of the 2024 WNBA Finals. A meaningless preseason game did that, but it wasn't just hype. Clark delivered. She dropped 21 points, grabbed 5 rebounds, dished out 3 assists, and hit a 36-foot logo 3 from the same spot she broke Kelsey Plum's NCAA scoring record. The crowd exploded. The arena literally hit 116 decibels, louder than many NFL playoff stadiums. This wasn't just another preseason stat line, it was a cultural event, one that sent a crystal clear message to the entire sports world. Caitlyn Clark isn't just playing in the WNBA, she's transforming it. But here's where things get uncomfortable, because while Clark is setting records, Reese's so-called superstar status is being exposed in real time.
Ouch! Chicago Sky with their second straight home game where the arena is not even half full. Come on, Chicago, some tickets were only $3.
Let's talk about the narrative, because it's collapsing fast. For months, the media has positioned Angel Reese as just as impactful as Caitlyn Clark. The phrase, "we ain't the same," echoed across social media like a badge of honor. But when the tickets go on sale and the cameras start rolling, reality hits hard. And reality doesn't care how many Instagram followers you have. Angel Reese's fan base is massive online. Millions of followers, brand deals, Met Gala invites. But none of that seems to be converting into actual basketball fans. She played a home game and most of the seats were empty. Her team faced Brazil, same opponent as Clark, and the game only pulled 305,000 TV viewers on Ion. That's 1 million less than Clark's game.
All right, again, 5 million Instagram followers do not equate to basketball fans. It's a totally different group of people.
Let that sink in. 1 million fewer people, and this was on free TV. No cable, no streaming service required, just an antenna or a free Roku app. Still, no one watched. This isn't shade, this is scoreboard. Celebrity is one thing, impact is another, and if Reese was truly moving the needle like people claim, those numbers would look a lot different, but they don't, and that's why this comparison is unraveling so fast.
But the point is, you don't have to have ESPN, you don't have to have anything that's pay. By the way, the Ion is available for free on the Roku app. Free. It's one of their live channels.
But it gets worse when you look at the actual performance on the court, because fans can forgive bad stats, but not when they're paired with zero results. Here's where things really start to crack. In her most recent outing, Angel Reese posted just 9 points, shot 4 for 9 from the field, and finished the game with a -6 plus minus. The worst of any Sky starter. Not exactly the stat line you expect from a face of the league candidate.
Angel Reese shot 4 for 9 from the field for 44%, just 9 points, was a -6 for the game. The only Sky starter with a negative plus minus in the game.
Meanwhile, her off-court narrative was louder than the game itself. Birthday party? Check. Met Gala? Check. Tweeting about how tired she was from a preseason game? Check. The optics aren't helping.
Now I can tweet, I made it through, God did, cause woo, I'm tired. Because you, what? Had a preseason game, okay. You had a birthday party. Nobody's feeling sorry for that.
And here's the truth. Nobody's mad she celebrated her birthday. Nobody's upset she attended a red carpet. But when those headlines outshine your actual play, the public notices, especially when you're being compared to a player who's letting her game do the talking and selling out arenas while doing it. Caitlyn Clark doesn't need press stunts. She doesn't need tweets or shade. She just steps on the court and delivers. And that difference, it's becoming more obvious with every game. But all of this raises a bigger issue, because it's not just about two players anymore. It's about what the WNBA is doing and what happens if they don't figure this out fast.
And by the way, this also proves a bigger issue. WNBA still got a lot of problems. If Caitlyn Clark and the Indiana Fever are not involved, they still got a ton of problems.
This isn't just a Clark versus Reese debate anymore. This is about the league's future. Because let's be honest, without Caitlyn Clark, the WNBA's numbers are in serious trouble. Angel Reese didn't move the needle. Paige Bueckers' debut, just 46,000 viewers. Even with massive college fan bases, these players aren't carrying the interest over into the pros. But when Clark is in the lineup, the entire country tunes in, cities sell out, broadcasters clear primetime slots. The league suddenly feels relevant, even urgent. That's a level of impact we haven't seen since maybe Diana Taurasi's prime, and Clark's just getting started.
Cece, one word to describe today.
Only one word. Unreal. That's fire. Honestly, unreal.
The WNBA needs to embrace this moment, not fight it, because if they fumble the one player who's proven she can draw millions, they're not just risking ratings, they're risking the league's credibility. Angel Reese may have star potential, but right now, the numbers prove one thing: Caitlyn Clark is the engine of this league, and without her, the wheels come off fast. And once you realize that, the final conclusion becomes impossible to deny. This was never about hate, it was never about race, it was never about personalities. This is about who delivers and who doesn't. The fans have already spoken. They're buying tickets, they're turning on the TV, they're screaming from the rafters, and all of that energy, it's not split between two stars, it's going to one. Caitlyn Clark isn't fighting for the spotlight, she is the spotlight, and while others are tweeting, posting, and celebrating the hype, she's out there rewriting the rules, one logo 3 at a time. The argument is over, the comparison is cooked, and as the 2025 WNBA season kicks off, there's only one real question left: can anyone else keep up? Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments who you think is the actual queen of the WNBA. See you in the next video.